Hello children, hello parents. I'm making a video for you so you know what our story is when we come back after Christmas and so you can hear it. I'm sure lots of you have this at home. It's called The Elves and the Shoemaker. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a busy school day so you might hear children and teachers. Okay. There was once a poor old shoemaker who lived in a little cottage in the woods. One evening after supper, he told his wife that he was unhappy. "I am working too slowly now that I am old," he explained. "I am worried that we will starve." See what's behind there? We've got some little pins. "I only have enough leather to make one more pair of boots," he went on. "I do not know what will become of us then." He's very upset. After supper, the shoemaker went to his bench. He cut out the leather pieces so that they were ready to make into shoes the next day. The old shoemaker was so tired from working all day that he fell into a deep sleep. The next morning he seemed to remember that he had heard strange noises from his workroom, but he told himself that he must have been dreaming. Oh, I think something magical's happened. But when he sat down on his workbench, he had a big surprise. A pair of fine boots had been made from the leather pieces he had cut out the night before. "Look at these," he showed his wife. "They would have taken me at least 3 days to make." "The stitching is exquisite," she agreed. "Just beautiful." Like they've got the magnifying glass to see the detail even better. The shoemaker put the boots in his shop window. Before long, a rich man arrived, asking to try them on. "I love them," he congratulated the shoemaker. "I must have them. Name your price." And he gave the shoemaker a truly handsome sum in solid gold pieces. "We are lucky indeed," the shoemaker told his wife. "We can afford to eat today, and I can buy some more shoe leather as well." Off he went to market and came back with plenty of good food and enough leather to make 2 more pairs of shoes. So what's behind this one? In the evening, he cut the leather into pieces before going to bed, ready for an early start. However, in the morning, he found to his surprise not 1, but 2 pairs of shoes. "They are just as fine as the first pair," said his wife. "Who has done this kind deed?" Look what a shock he's got. Imagine finding that in your house. No sooner were the shoes put in the window than friends of the rich man knocked on the door. They loved the shoes so much that they bought them on the spot, and so it went on. The shoemaker bought leather every day. He would cut it out, leave it on his workbench at night, and every morning he would discover the most beautiful shoes and boots, which would be sold before lunchtime. I wonder which shoes are your favourite at home. I'm going to bring in some of my favourite shoes to show you. One evening, the shoemaker was sitting in front of the fire with his wife. "I would like to know who has been helping us," he said. "Why don't we sit up and watch instead of going to bed?" They hid themselves behind a curtain and they watched still as mice. Wonder what they'll see. Towards midnight, the window sprang open and 2 little elves climbed through, dressed in rags. In an instant, they sat down upon the shoemaker's bench and they picked up all of the leather pieces that were cut out. They began to pull and stretch the leather, stitching it and tapping it, their fingers racing faster than the shoemaker had ever seen. In no time at all, 4 pairs of shiny boots and shoes were standing on the bench. Then, quick as a flash, the 2 elves were gone. Rubbing their bewildered eyes, the shoemaker and his wife crept up to bed. The next morning, they could hardly believe what they had seen. "How can we repay them for helping us?" wondered the shoemaker. "Let's make them some proper clothes," suggested the shoemaker's wife. "Oh, good idea," agreed the shoemaker, "and I will make them each a pair of boots." That's a lovely thing to do when someone's been kind to you, to do something kind for them. You've got to do very small stitches in those ones. When the elves came in later that night, they went straight to the workbench to begin work, but they found the little clothes and the boots instead. A nice surprise. They both burst out laughing with delight, took off their old rags and admired their new outfits in the mirror. They danced and capered about, chuckling at how splendid they looked. At last they clambered up to the window, thank you, and jumped deep into the night. The old couple never saw the elves again, but sometimes when they need help, they will leave some leather pieces on the bench from time to time. The old man will put out a little jacket or a shirt or a pair of small shoes, and in the morning they will be gone. And that's how the story ends. But when you come back to school, children, after the Christmas holidays, we might have had some special little visitors in our classroom. I wonder what we'll find. Have a lovely Christmas and a very, very happy New Year. See you all soon.